Well, welcome back to another episode. Champions League was played today, man, and I don't know, man. This is, I think, the most goals I've ever seen from 4 games since I started watching Champions League. I think. I mean, look at that: 7 goals, 14 goals in 2 games. But to start with the other 7 goals, Atletico 5, Spurs 2. I mean, we all saw it coming, but at the same time, we all felt like, since Spurs qualified fourth, maybe they have a different kind of energy in the Champions League, but it seems like they're on a free fall, man.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And, as much as it looked realistic to fire Thomas Frank, I think they made a bigger mistake with the manager that they chose because, uh, if the manager had to do a substitution within 15 minutes and remove a goalkeeper and bring in Vicario, and then you wonder why did he start that goalkeeper to begin with. Uh, it shows that the manager's decision backfired on himself within 15 minutes
Yeah.
because if he thought that uh, the second goalkeeper at fault for the 3 goals, then
Mhm.
maybe if he started Vicario, maybe they'll still be going into the second leg alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you lose 3-2 and you go
Yeah.
you come home alive. Maybe you go
Yeah.
2-2, you come home alive. So I
Yeah.
think that he's all over the place. He's a guy who has come out and talked about how we have so many problems in the team.
Bad
How some
habits.
people
He calls
uh,
them bad habits.
they are calling them bad habits and talking about how some people are not in this boat and others are in this boat, and like he's been so divisive. And I would like to understand why he even benched Vicario.
Vicario,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I think Spurs maybe will have left this fixture still feeling alive, but the manager has to take responsibility for that.
Do you think the manager will be facing Liverpool on Sunday?
Uh,
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I know Thomas Frank was in a bad position, but realistically speaking, he was in a higher position than where he found Spurs. Realistically speaking. And Thomas Frank has been in a team that knows fighting relegation. Their whole MO was to survive in the Premier League. Brentford, no other goal. Brentford has started pushing lately, but Brentford, just like any promoted team, was fighting to stay up. And I don't think Thomas Frank would have gone down. Now, Thomas Frank had momentum in the Champions League, the same way Ange had momentum in the Europa League last season, and it paid off. So why
right.
would you come? Yeah, why would you come? I mean, we're not expecting Thomas Frank to win it, but you would give them a good run for sure. Atletico are not at their best, and I think Spurs would have had apart from the Arsenal draw, Spurs had a good draw. Honestly, among the big boys, Atletico is the one that is limping the most. So I don't know why Spurs. I think Spurs made a big error, considering this guy is not even a specialist in any European trophy cup or anything. Like, he's not getting any points against Liverpool on Sunday,
Yeah,
so and he's not going through versus Atletico.
I mean,
So
there was a stat I saw. Was it 2 teams in 9 years, or 7 teams in 9 years, or 8 teams in 9 years? Like, why is he, you know, doing an average of one club a season? He's not a good manager. And when you ask whether he'll be the manager of Spurs over the weekend, Spurs have been making mistakes, and you cannot rule out them letting him have another 2 or 3 other games, because at this point it's very unbelievable what's going on with the Spurs, because uh, with Ange, things appear to be going down well. Europa kept him in there. With Thomas Frank, things appear to be going down the drain, but I think they chose Thomas Frank as a sacrificial lamb, and this guy has just come in, and now it looks like the problems were beyond Thomas Frank. So I don't really trust Spurs' decision making. Ideally, he should not be allowed to be in charge versus Liverpool. But I cannot rule that one out because I don't just trust the man. And he's not getting anything out of that game. That's probably his. fifth
His
loss.
first game today, loss. 4 losses in
Yeah,
a row today. Yeah.
and he's going to pick a fifth loss. He might be probably the only manager to be fired in Spurs without a win.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think if they really want any hope, they should get someone else, and they should get someone else very fast. Especially when he gave that speech about bad habits. You know, when you talk like that in your first speech, then after a game, then you do nothing. Second game, nothing. Third game, and then you get hammered. Fourth game, I think your time is done. Yeah, I
Nah,
think your
it
time is
is.
done. Yeah, I
It's
think
a
your
wrap.
time is done. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I I don't know. Spurs. I don't want them to go down really, and just because of everything, and of course they've been giving me 6 points for 4 years in a row. So, but at the same time, just this is I want one of the big boys to go down. That
That's
could
true.
be you.
Yeah.
Is it are they injuries away from going down, or what is that? So I want the aura of big club to come and show, so that these so-called big clubs they can still feel the invincibility. Like, okay, we have structure. Even if we had 1,000 injuries, we have kids in the bench, or we had this that can come in, and we would still stay up by virtue of being a big club. But if Spurs go down, I mean, anybody can go down. Spurs were in the finals of the Champions League 5 years ago.
Exactly. And won
Yeah,
Europa League the last year.
yeah.
Um,
So, but the appointment they made for Igor to do mistake. Moving on from Spurs, Newcastle looked like they had it. Man, their attack is poor. I watched the game. That was the game I chose. I'm telling you, I chose that game not knowing that I should just have taken Golazo because that's the game they were showing there. So, but I realized later. So I was like, oh, lucky me. The game I chose is the one that they also chose for us. But I watched it. Man, those guys, Elanga, the Barnes, the Gordons, those guys are average, man. Those guys, they wasted a lot of chances. You know how pacey they are? Those guys wasted. I counted like 3 or 4 chances. Like, they were not really shots on target, but on through, poor cross or poor finish, or just.
yeah, I saw a similar thing. I watched that game for a minute, and they really ran behind that back line. I remember Elanga running, and then his final ball is just like
Pass
bullshit.
to the keeper, yeah.
Yeah, I remember another run like Lewis Hall making a run on the left, bringing in another ball, and then they just like lose the ball. Uh, they just poor at finishing, as you said, and I think what I can take away from that game is also that a good team kills Barcelona.
Yeah,
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 Barcelona got away with it just because Barcelona is still in it, just because Newcastle could not put their chances away.
yeah,
I mean, for the few minutes I watched, midfield, Jolinton was so strong, bullying, getting balls, spreading them, those runs in between, but then you cannot just do the final bit of it, just scoring it. By the time Barcelona scored it, it's like, by the time Newcastle scored, it's like they'd been due a goal like for the longest.
yeah,
And then for them to score in the last minutes of the game, it was like a relief because they have been almost the better side. But
yeah,
then they get pinned down by one by that penalty, and it's a tie, and now it looks to be almost out of their hand because yeah, Barcelona has shown to be a team that can come back on the second leg, because this is a team that was hammered 4 by Atletico Madrid in the Del Rey.
yeah,
And then on the return leg, they were just all over Atletico Madrid. Like, Madrid could not really get breathing space. So they are a side that can turn the shift anytime. And when Newcastle go to Camp Nou, you don't know what to expect. Maybe you get the Barcelona that stands up. But then that's a red flag for Barcelona, because even if they go past this point, then they have to be careful on the next leg, because you turn up the way you turned up today, you get punished.
yeah. You do that, you get punished. But I don't think Newcastle will win away at Barcelona unless they become very pragmatic. I mean, Chelsea did something. Well, those were away goal days, but unless they become that, and then I think they miss Isak a lot because today he would have buried a few chances. Just any quality forward like
Mm.
Isak standard would have buried so many of those chances. But well, we never know. Another game that seems still on the balance, but there was a winner was Galatasaray. Man, Galatasaray were all over Liverpool, man. I mean, like by chances, like yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's just they played with energy. 1-0 does not tell the story for sure. Maybe it should have been at least 2 or 3. But Galatasaray collapsed against Juve. Technically, Juve just got a red card and let them back in the qualifying round. So maybe Liverpool can draw strength from that.
Uh, Actually, that's dangerous for Liverpool because Galatasaray might have learned a lesson that day.
Yeah,
They might have learned that you don't survive twice.
yeah,
Yeah, because they were careless in Italy and they got away with it versus Juve. So they know that they cannot get away with it again. And even when you remember during the post-game interview, Osimhen coming out and saying uh, the boys did not turn up. And I had said this in the dressing room, saying when you go to Juventus playing 90 minutes, they
yeah.
they don't give you a minute, but the boys did not listen. So I'm not expecting the boys to do the same when they go to Anfield, uh, because Liverpool and Juventus are almost in the same form. Like people have turned up and at Liverpool and won games. People
Yeah,
have
that's
turned
the
up at
thing.
Liverpool and frustrated Liverpool.
Juventus were 10 men for over 60 minutes,
Yeah,
and they were still all over Galatasaray. Maybe it's a thing of quality now. And if Liverpool can show up their quality, maybe Galatasaray is not that of a quality team, but we'll see. I don't know.
yeah.
They might have,
I,
they might
I
be
agree with
pragmatic.
you.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Like if I was to put my money on it, I'll put my money on Liverpool. But what I'm saying here is that I cannot be surprised. I cannot be surprised because Liverpool has been all over. Lower placed teams have gone to Anfield and caused chaos and picked up points. And
yeah.
just the fact that Galatasaray went to Juventus and they were poor and they got away with it. They know very well that when you go to Anfield, we cannot be poor again and expect to get away with it. So it's one of those competitions where you survive by a whisker and you realize that now I have to go for it. I've seen this in cup ties. You survive by a whisker and then you go for it because that was your elimination. But that being said, uh, Anfield is a different animal in Champions League, considering that Liverpool are out of the Premier League. So Champions League is a big thing for them. Quality-wise, Liverpool has better quality than Galatasaray. So if Liverpool turn up, then they win this one.
You think Salah starts?
Uh, I
why,
mean,
why, why is he been taking off? Well, I don't know. People say Salah is so poor, but I didn't see an improvement after they took him off. Frimpong had like 2 chances. Even in the last minute, he had a chance that he could have carved in with his left foot, but
no,
I
you
don't
see,
know.
the problem with Salah is when he's out of the game, you ask why he's out of the game. When he's in the game, you understand why he was out. So it's very difficult because remember when he had problems with the coach and he was dropped and had that outburst and stuff like that, and people were like, "This guy has been scoring this number of goals. Why is he being benched?" The guy just scored his first goal in 2026 in March. So it's a very difficult situation to understand, and sometimes you have to I cannot really blame the manager for taking Salah out because whenever Salah has been on the field, you cannot look at the game and say that Liverpool has needed Salah. You can
Their
never
game
look at
is
it and be like
slow
Liverpool has
now.
missed Salah.
Their game is slow. I mean, those balls were more direct in previous years. His job is not there to do 1-2 with Gravenberch or McAllister. Their,
No,
their game is slow.
but he won the league last season with the
Yeah,
manager, with
yeah.
this manager, and the playing style has not really changed from last season. And you say
No,
this is
you
not the
remember when
manager's
the
first
manager
season.
said, when Salah said at the end of the season, they had a deal with the manager. I don't need to drop back, and then I'll score the goals. So he knew how to manage that situation. Why isn't he doing the same thing this year? Because you know the strengths of this guy. I don't think the strengths have gone away. Why can't you? Why is it like, oh, Salah, but Frimpong can defend more? But Salah was told last season not to defend at all. So the fact that they need him to defend this season is a
Mm.
structural issue. It's not his problem.
I agree with you on that, but now my question becomes: when he's not defending, what is he doing?
He's
Let's talk
waiting
about
for the ball upfield.
no, when he has the ball. What is he doing with the ball up front? Because we've seen so many times when Salah has the ball up front and he's not Salah. I mean, at Wolves when they were losing, uh, there's a cross he's trying to bring in. I don't know who was trying to give the cross to. It was so poor that was intercepted. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah,
But
I don't remember. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, but that is Salah in the final third. He has collected everybody on the left. His teammate is on the right. Salah has to cross the ball to allow the other guy 1v1. And
He
then the
will
ball
miss.
cannot even.
He will miss 10 chances. But Salah is the man you need right there when you guys are pressing at 1-0, like Lamine Yamal, to knock in your 1-1 to move on. And that's the stage of someone like Salah. He might not do much, but that's what he can do. That's what
But
he can do. Yeah.
no,
So
he has to.
taking him off is a statement,
Uh, he,
more
he,
than even
he,
tactical.
he
Huh?
has to. He has to prove his worth. This brother is on 400,000 a week. Last season he did not need 3 chances. This season he needs 10. Last season Liverpool are not creating. They only needed to to get Salah 1 chance, and that 1 chance was the game. Salah was not even visible. You could be tempted to ask where is Salah, and then he responds. But this season, Salah needs 7 chances to put one away. Like that has never been him. You know, 2 chances is a goal for Salah. Why do you need seven?
So do you think
So
he starts though?
uh, if I'm the manager, I'll start Salah uh, because it's not that any other person who starts does better. I'll start Salah. Uh, Florian Wirtz was speaking form. He got injured. Isaac has been away for a minute.
Florian
Uh,
Wirtz was extremely poor today, and
uh,
they let him in the game.
uh,
Extremely poor. He wasted Liverpool's two big chances at the beginning of the game. You just reminded me. Go on.
uh, Ga- Gakpo blows cold and hot. I remember he defended against. He defended for Wolves the other day when
Man.
when, when McAllister was trying to chest it. I don't even know McAllister. Gakpo defended for Wolves because he wanted to be
Yeah.
on the score sheet. But Gakpo has been all over. Vats was trying to pick form before he got that injury. You're saying today he was crappy. Isaac is not fit. So if you don't play Salah, I just feel like there are no better players than Salah in that team, and the whole team is all over the place. But these are some of the situations where when the whole team is all over the place, uh, a world class player has to show that he's world class.
But he cannot do that on the bench. You have to give him the whole 90, you know?
It's true.
Harvey Barnes
Just
wasted chances until he hit one at 86.
uh,
But for me, I will hope Liverpool to go out, but I don't really care. I think Liverpool should go through to give Man City more headache in their next round if they ever meet. Like, just get them more tired. But anyway, but who do you think wins the game in Munich? Not the tie. The tie we know is Bayern, but
yeah,
the game. Who do you think wins the game?
Bayern Liverpool
Atlanta, no, Bayern
or,
Atlanta.
or Bayern Atlanta
Yeah,
in Munich.
yeah.
Either Bayern or no winner.
Oh yeah, you think You don't think Atlanta might turn up and get a 2-1 win?
I don't think they get a 2-1. I feel like Bayern might rotate the squad, rest players here and there. But Atlanta have nothing to fight for, and any attempt to get a better result might still get them cooked. So I'm seeing that when Bayern rotates the squad, they might get a draw as the worst result.
Well, I think it might be a win for Atlanta. I don't know. Bayern are already through. 6-1 is a lot. So, but I think 2-1 especially.
Bayern will play a team in the third division in these cup competitions in Germany. They'll play a team in the third division, and they're leading 8-0, and they still bring on players to make it 12. so,
This
so
is the Champions League, though. It's different.
that's why I'm
This
saying
is
that.
the pride of Italy right there. That's the only Italian club.
Yeah, well, my whole point is that Bayern doesn't like losing when there are options that are against losing. That's not
Yeah.
that's why, if you beat Bayern, you're just better than them. But if they rotate players and you go ahead, they'll bring them on.
Anyway, that was the Champions League today. That was 4 games. I don't know how many goals. How many goals total? There's 14 in one game, and then we have 17 goals in 4 games. That's a lot. That's a lot. But we'll see what tomorrow brings. We'll talk about tomorrow. I don't know if you'll get time, but I'll just talk about to switch up things and go to conspiracy theory in England, where Arsenal are given all the easy chances, and they got a good FA draw. That's what Man City are saying now.
Now I've seen this. I've seen this before. I just think that it's a good season for Arsenal because I think on the route to the FA, Man United kept on receiving easy ties at home. All of them were home ties. United played home until Wembley, and we had the likes of Coventry, we had the likes of Fulham and Willian. I don't know whoever got a red card. Coventry, that was Wembley though it went almost into the penalty, but we were just having good home fixtures, and even the other time when we won the EFL. So sometimes that season does happen, but there's a time when I cannot pull out the exact season. There's a time when it was Man City's turn to get the easy teams.
I
So
think 2 or 3 seasons they've always
yeah,
gotten
so
easy.
so so
Even
so
last
this
season. Yeah.
these seasons do happen.
Uh,
When Chelsea came to Club World Cup, they played 3 Brazilian clubs at every stage. I mean, EPL is ahead of Brazilian league, and they got three.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got 3 Brazilian teams back to back to back. So these
Yeah.
things I've seen them.
Yeah, they got Benfica, then Brazilian teams, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not about any conspiracy. It's just that it's a lucky year for Arsenal.
But the point is, Man City meet Liverpool in the FA. And all this, they've been saying how Arsenal plays poorly, both sides. But now they can show us how football is played because they play together, right? Because show us how football is played then, because now, so why are you complaining about the fixture though? I thought Man City at some point were like, no, we don't complain about refs, we don't complain about fixtures. We are above that. We are the mentality monsters. We don't. We just win our games. We just win. That seems to be changing, and they've joined the bandwagon of hating Arsenal. I mean, that's crazy. I didn't think Man City would. I mean, other clubs is understandable, but I didn't think Man City would go that low. But
Yeah, I mean, losing has never been fun, and a loser has to clutch on something. So uh, I
but they're
think
still in the quad. Why are they acting like like these other clubs? Because Man City are still in the quad. They're not like any other club. So for them to start talking like these other guys, I don't understand. They still have a fixture, Arsenal at home. They still have the final in a neutral ground. So all this talk about conspiracy and referees and they don't want us to win, you're still in all of them. So why? I think they're afraid.
Yeah, but
Because you're
you know,
still in all of them.
the thing here is they are the Arsenal's competitor. It's very hard for United to talk about officials because United is not chasing it. Chelsea cannot talk about officials. Liverpool cannot talk about officials. If Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool talk about officials, no, if Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City talk about officials, it's just because they don't want Arsenal to win, and Man City is a softer enemy. But you know, Man City and Arsenal are the ones who are going toe to toe, and now you have to look at all things. When Man City was running away, Arsenal was complaining about officials too. That was, I think, a season ago or so. Arsenal were talking about how the referees are always coming at us, giving us red cards, and that other clubs are getting away with those red cards. But then Arsenal realized that they could just do better. And now this season, Arsenal are not getting those red cards. Chelsea are getting the red cards. So I'm saying that if that conversation happens between two rivals, Arsenal was complaining about referees. It's now Man City's time to, to complain about referees because those are the two teams that are going for the title.
Yeah, but the point is, previous seasons, we've been in a bigger gap later stage in the season, and Man
Yeah.
City won. And they did that to United, and they did that to Liverpool, and they did that to Liverpool again. So why are they acting like they've already lost it? Because they're still in a position to win the quad. I understand
True.
that this rival talking referee happens, but this has not been them because anyway, Man City, I just love it. The other guys that, well, the other fixtures are pretty much easy. There's not really need much to talk about. Chelsea hosting Port Vale. Port Vale are fighting in League Two not to go to National League. That is out of out of professional now. You're not paid if you leave League Two. So Chelsea should be going through. We
And
have
and and
Southampton. Yeah.
and Chelsea are another one getting easier fixtures though.
Oh yeah.
Because before Port Vale was Wrexham. Before Wrexham was another club I'm forgetting. It's they went to Hull City or something.
Yeah, Hull City and Wrexham. Yeah.
Yeah, so Chelsea hasn't really been also having the tougher fixtures.
Yeah, yeah. In the FA.
Yeah.
But all the big boys are still there, man. Like all top four is still there. Okay, apart from United on Villa. Top four, the whole top four is still there. So maybe Chelsea don't chill out.
Yeah,
They'll just,
I think
yeah,
the final will be fire.
yeah, the final will be fire.
Mm.
We go away to Southampton, which is a tricky fixture. Like if we don't put a strong team, it
Yeah,
might go either way. And West
but it's
Ham,
one of the fixtures you could have wished for.
we could have wished for, yeah, one of them, Port
Yeah,
Vale at home. I
yeah.
mean, we're going away. Chelsea have Port Vale at home. I mean, it's like us having like one of the big boys would have gotten Bodo Glimt. That would have been okay. You bastards, but yeah. Who do you think is gonna go through between City and Liverpool? Because these other ones, they will West Ham and Leeds, of course, will ask them. But City and Liverpool.
At the moment, City still have an edge. If I consider if I can only go as per the previous games and even the form, because previously City has beat Liverpool, and then even after that, Liverpool has still struggled more than City. So the form puts City ahead of Liverpool, and who is playing home?
City.
Yeah, so the form puts them ahead of Liverpool, and they're playing home.
Well, we were still talking about City when you're still there. I forgot to bring that up at that time. So City have Madrid tomorrow
Mm,
away. Then West Ham, they go away to West Ham
mm,
on the weekend. Then
mm,
Madrid next week. Then Arsenal weekend, the final.
mm,
Then Liverpool. Then Chelsea, league
mm,
now.
mm,
In between there, if they've beaten Madrid, there is Bayern's, then
mm,
Arsenal.
mm.
You think fatigue is gonna catch up on them, or you think City is City?
This type of fixtures bring out excitement from players. I think these are the type of fixtures that players crave for.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I've seen about sports is when you put a team fixture, and I'm gonna go to United. When we had Burnley, Leeds, and Wolves, you knew that's when United was going to get their 5 wins in a row. And then after that, we had Man City and Arsenal. And then we won City and Arsenal after not winning any of those. And there's also a time when I saw Chelsea's fixtures. I don't remember if it was last season or when. And I knew that this is when they're going to be cooked. And that's when they turned up.
Yeah.
And then there was the same Chelsea a time when their fixtures were easier. And then they picked like 3 L's on the spin. So it's just one of those situations where you be like, this is an easier fixture. They're going to cruise through this one. And they don't. And even for Arsenal, I think you've dropped points on games where you did not want to, where you did not see yourself dropping points. You plan your fixtures and you're like, okay, we have Nottingham Forest here, we have Wolves here, we're picking Nottingham, we're picking Wolves, and then it doesn't happen like that. So I'm just thinking that of those fixtures you've mentioned, I'll probably be worried about Man City. If I was Man City, I might be worried about Man City versus West Ham. Because
This first one, West Ham Man City weekend.
yeah,
The second one, yeah.
I might be worried about that one because Man City might turn up against Madrid and turn up against Liverpool. And
But
then
they have to turn up against
with
Madrid.
Arsenal,
Yeah.
is a cup final. Then they turn up too. So I'm
Yeah.
just thinking that the easier games can be the most difficult one because Arsenal Man City is gonna be difficult, but Man City Liverpool, City look to have an edge. Man City Madrid, City look to have an edge because unfortunately I'm wondering why my club fired Xabi Alonso because Abeloa is all over. So
Yeah.
Man City might have an edge over Madrid. Man City might have an edge over Liverpool. Their challenge is Arsenal and Bayern.
Yeah, because even the home fixture of Madrid, they have the second leg at home. So maybe they have an edge there. But the congestion of the fixtures, though, by the time they meet Arsenal second leg at Etihad in April, they would have played both Madrid and Bayern almost, and Liverpool. No, yeah, in Liverpool, and Arsenal in a final before that.
And how many games will Arsenal have played before that? Less than Man City?
No, same number of games, but we have, same number of games. Leverkusen, Everton, Leverkusen, then City Cup. Then after City Cup, we have either Bodo or Sporting, and then Southampton, and then Bournemouth, and then one of those Bodo or Sporting, and then City.
Yeah, so you have relatively less intense fixtures than City.
Which is dangerous, as you say. It might reduce the tempo. These are the
Yeah.
people that, if they can catch momentum at that high tempo, then you're in trouble.
Now, those are the games you live for as a footballer. Those are the games
Yeah.
you live for. They asked Chelsea players, which team do you want? PSG, Madrid. Why were they not asking for the smaller teams? because you live for those.
Yeah.
If you're, I mean, if you're an Arsenal player, you look at the biggest team, Bayern. That's the team you want to beat. You might be like, let me get Bodo, but at the end of the day, Arsenal Bodo, Arsenal Bayern, Arsenal Bayern is that's the game that motivates you more because that's when you want to show who you are. You want to beat Bayern. That's when you
Yeah,
turn up.
but you want to meet them later, not round of 16.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But then
uh,
the fixture has been drawn and now they're the next.
yeah.
Nothing you can do about
Did you
it.
watch the Wrexham game, though?
Wrexham Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea Wrexham. Yeah.
I watched a big chunk of it. Chelsea got away with one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea got away with one.
Especially the 3-3 one. That was a goal. Yeah, that was a goal. And they had a lot of energy. Well, I don't like Chelsea. That's one reason I would have wanted Wrexham to go through. But at the same time, I wanted to see Wrexham. But they are sixth. So that means they might qualify for playoffs. We might see them in the Premier League. If
somebody said that playoff is going to be moved to 8 teams. I don't know if it's this season or next season.
Yeah,
But
I'm not sure though. Yeah,
it's their debut in the championship. So I don't know how this season goes, but I don't think they stay in the championship 3 seasons.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah. But if they can go to the knockout, then because if they put the 8 teams, that means 2 and 3 qualify for semis automatically or something. Yeah, and then these other ones play
No,
themselves.
one and two, one and two go through
1
automatically.
and 2 go through. 2 and then then 3 and 4 qualify.
Three,
Yeah, 3
yeah,
and 4.
I think
Yeah.
3 and 4,
Would
then
qualify in
five,
the
six,
semis.
yeah,
Yeah.
3 and 4 qualify, and then 5 plays 8,
Mm-hmm.
6 plays 7,
Mm-hmm.
and then the 2 winners go to join 3
3
and
and
4.
4. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then only one can come.
I don't trust that system, though. I was listening to Neda Monoha the other day, and number 8 might be 15 points away from number 4. Like, just let it slide, man. You're 15 points away. Well, just let it slide. I mean,
I think you don't like it. I think it's fine.
I'm just like, you might be good at cups. You know, these are knockouts. You only have 3 games to go. You're number 15. You're number 8, 15 points away from number 4. Leave alone number 1. 15 points away from number 4, and you come to the Premier League. This
Yeah,
Premier League that the types of Burnley have been coming with 100 points as number 1, and they
but
get cooked thoroughly.
but Sunderland just sneaked in. It's their attitude. Sunderland, they sneaked in.
Sunderland
So
had been
2 and 6 is kind of unfair, in my opinion, because but 3 top 4, even here top 4 have qualified for something. So top 4 through. The rest of us here, we just gotta fight it out. I think so. Between 5 and 8, we just have to fight it out because you did not sneak into the top 4, so you come back in the mud.
Yeah, I'm just worried about the Premier League. I mean, Sunderland had been knocking on the door when they had Ahmad Diallo. They were in the playoffs. It's not that they haven't just cracked it. They had been in the playoffs. They lost the playoffs, then came again the second time. I think they lost the playoffs to Michael Carrick's what's the club? Yeah, Middlesbrough. But Middlesbrough could not make it. And then they got it on the second time. So what you're saying, I fully relate. I just have this fear of finishing 8th in the championship and walking into the Premier League.
You don't walk though. You go through a whole tournament.
Yeah, because you let's see, because if you're finishing 20 points behind the leading team and you end up in the Premier League, it's cruel. This Premier League, there's a time when all teams promoted have gone down like twice in a row.
Yeah, and when you look at it, like if you want a big name, names like Leicester are going down further. Leicester is 21st with that facility and the way they look, and the relegation is 22, 23, and 24. So I'm sure a name like Leicester would be up there, and you'd be like, maybe you become softer. But the Southampton you're talking about that Arsenal is going to meet, that is the farthest in this cup, is 8th. It is the farthest championship team.
Okay.
So I think
That's
8
the
is
whole
fine.
point. That's the whole
Yeah.
point I was making. You can qualify for the Premier League because you are good at cups or knockouts. Because
Yeah.
because FA is a knockout. So you finish 8, and I have to play this game and a semi and a final. I'm 3 wins away, and then you come to the Premier League and you now have 38 games and you cannot play the same way.
But Sunderland have done this. No, what's the name? Sunderland. They've done the same thing. They play a final every game until you get to 40 points. And that's the intensity of the Premier League now. It is like that. Everybody is playing a final. You slip up, you're out. You get so I think 5, you are not elite enough to be top 4. Let's just say it. So
Yeah.
you come back here in the mud. Yeah, and then you show them that I actually was better than you. I just couldn't make it into the top 4. Don't show them that. I was hoping that they don't bring you guys because I was just sleepwalking into the. No, you cannot sleepwalk into anything if you finish 5th. You need to. And I think even for the Premier League, they need to do that for those Champions League spots. Top 4, cool. If there's any other spot, man, you guys have to fight it out. I think, yeah, you guys have to fight it out between 5 and whatever. You guys have to show us who really wants it more. So that you don't send teams like, I don't want to talk about Atlanta, but yeah. Yeah, but like, you have to want it. I don't know. We'll see. But for me, I'm pro. I'm for it. I don't know. You say you don't like it.
Yeah, I just feel like the quality, those teams struggle, and yeah, I get your point fully. I just feel like the Premier League might be too cruel because if you have to finish 20 points behind the leader in Championship, uh, then the Premier League might not be the place for you unless you have you have the pockets. You know, uh, Sunderland, as I said, Sunderland is like Brentford. Before Brentford came up, they had been in those knockouts. Same to Coventry. Coventry has been in those knockouts. Sunderland has been in those knockouts. So I'm just looking like if you put up the championship table right now and so who is number 8 and how many points are they from the top, and then
Southampton. Uh-huh.
Southampton,
Yep.
how far are they from the top?
Well, 53 and 74. That's 21.
Yeah, you see,
Oh, they have
and
a game in hand, so let's say 56. Yeah, 18. Let's just say. Or 20
18,
points. That's 20
20
points.
points. So what if it ends up on a 25 because the most team in form is Coventry. I think they have more than 5 wins on the spin. So the chances are that gap continues growing. And then
But no, there's no assurance that Coventry is going to be a better team than Southampton if they both came to the Premier League, though. Yeah,
that's
because these guys
that's
have
not
been
it.
knocking. Maybe they just don't know how to turn up in the big stage. And if someone down here turns up in the big stage,
Mm,
I don't know. Maybe they're inspired by Sunderland was 6th and somehow they sneaked in. Maybe these guys
mm,
have more fire. Let's see. I
mm.
don't know, but well, we I don't know. But on the results, I think Mamouche has Newcastle. They need a striker, and Man City don't need Mamouche like that. Newcastle should buy him. I think so. He'll fit perfectly. He'll stop scoring against them. And then they need a striker that they can start every week.
Yeah, Mamu should be good for Newcastle because Walter Made is not really doing it apart from selling us hopes at the beginning of the season. Uh, but if everybody is trying to go to Man City, including Semenyo going over there, and Mamouche is popping up with goals here and there, and he's an understudy to Haaland, and he can win trophies, and he's making money. Newcastle will need something bigger to pull him out.
No, the main reason was so that he stopped scoring against them. Because
Yeah, he has like 7 goals versus them or 5.
I think a brace every game, at least. Some hat trick, but a brace every game.
There's a hat trick, a brace, and a brace.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Eze and Spurs, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. But Mamouche, I think, has played 3 or 4. 3. 4
Yeah, he
games.
has 7 in
Four.
3, and
Mm.
which comes back to also 5 in 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 2 in 2.
Oh, 2 in 2.
Yeah,
He's
2.
got a
No, 4
brace.
in 2. 4 in
Or
2.
4
4
in
in
2.
2.
Or
Yeah,
it
it's
was
not a
3 2
brace.
2.
Yeah. 3-2-2. But I guess Guardiola has a cheat code whenever he plays Newcastle. Just throw in Mamouche.
It's working for him. I think. Uh, if they're playing Newcastle, he doesn't have any reason to put Mamouche out. I think. It reminds me when Arsenal was to play Spurs and Eze had not been playing. And Arteta was like, "This is when you thrive, man. Like, come
Yeah,
on, boy, this is your
yeah,
time."
yeah,
so, so
yeah,
I think any Newcastle fixture, Mamouche has to start that fixture because that's when he thrives.
yeah.
uh,
The Newcastle level has gone down a little. I don't know if it's Bruno Grimaresh, but they've taken a hit on their team for a big club to lose key players like that, especially in this time of the season. Okay, from Isak and now Gimaresh in the mid. I mean, Newcastle beat City in the first game, though, right?
mm,
2-1.
mm, mm.
But ever since, I mean, Newcastle don't look like a strong team anymore. And I don't think they'll go through against Barcelona also. But I don't know. I don't know.
They had a
Even in the league, they are struggling completely.
bad summer. You remember everybody they wanted refused them.
Yeah,
They were turned down by almost 5, 7 players. On top of losing Isak, they were turned down by Mbeumo. They were turned down by Shesko. United picked 2 from them, Shesko and Mbeumo. They lost Isak. Ekitike chose Liverpool.
yeah.
So they had the money, but they didn't have the name. So they had
Winter
to
is
go.
not playing. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had to go to the likes of Johan Visa,
Mm.
of course, Elanga, but
Mm.
they went for their second or third options. So they are just victims of not being a big name. And, if you are Newcastle, you want other teams to be stuck before you go into the market. But
Yeah.
they were in the market at a time when everybody, Arsenal needed a striker, Liverpool needed a striker, United needed a striker,
Yeah.
you know. So it was just the wrong time for them to go in the market. And that has caught up with them because there have always been a few injuries away from crisis. And and that's what it looks like right now because even with Guimaraes, they are depending on Guimaraes for goals. That's not how it was.
Yeah.
Guimaraes was good, but Isaac had the goals.
Yeah.
Murphy, there's a time when Murphy was firing, he had the goals. So Guimaraes alone is not enough. I think the Walter Mada thing hasn't really worked out the way they wanted, and that's a big problem for them.
A big problem. Yeah. They would have gotten someone just, well, even at least Gyökeres level, like not really necessarily Isak, but
Mm.
somewhere like, okay, my striker doesn't score, but he scores sometimes. But Walter Madden does not score anytime now, it seems like.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's not the person you go to when you need goals.
No, they have even had to shift him to the wing so that they can accommodate Gordon as a central
Yeah.
striker. So
Yeah.
they are all over. They don't have players. They don't have quality, and that's just down to big clubs having fought them in the summer. Mm.
Arsenal got a customary win away to Mansfield, but it was nothing customary. They just bruised. We had to just force the win, but trying to knock the ball and style of it didn't work at Mansfield. They were in our faces, but well, everybody expected Arsenal to go through. But the other team that's kind of on fire now. Did you see the penalty, Otara penalty?
Oh,
He tried
the
Panenka.
Panenka.
Yeah.
People need to stop this thing, man.
Yeah, stop it. Just score the goal. Practice, practice top corner hits like Hurricane, even though sometimes he misses, but just hit a practiced penalty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let it be a good save. Just let it be a good save.
Yeah.
But
Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah, give the keeper some work. It's
yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
Yeah. But West
I don't
Ham
know why
would,
they
would
go. I
yeah.
don't know why they try this. I've seen some of the worst. Ademola Lookman in Fulham. I don't know Hakimi. Diaz for Morocco. Uh, Dango Utara doing the
Aguero
other one. Like,
against Chelsea.
oh,
Man,
oh,
Aguero.
Aguero.
Yeah.
Man, just
Mhm.
pick a spot and put the ball there. These
Yeah.
things, you see the likes of Sergio Ramos doing it, and you're like, I'm going to do it. They're good at fooling the keeper, and they chip the ball well.
Yeah.
uh, some of these players come and you just see that you don't have conviction. You don't know whether they are going right or left, so you don't know where to jump. They haven't really fooled you. So sometimes that goalkeeper's confusion works well for the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And now that's embarrassing. And if you're gonna lose a penalty shootout because of that Panenka, you deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
but they won't be crying much because of where they are in the league. Yeah, you could even see the manager, the way he was talking. It didn't bother them because they've already qualified for the Premier League. They're already in the relegation conversation. So this was a bonus, and I think everybody knew it. That's why he would try something as silly as that because well, there's not much pressure in this game. But
Yeah,
Liverpool,
true.
yeah, Liverpool had a rare chance to revenge against. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants to face Wolves immediately after facing them because how did you just do that? How did you beat me? How did you draw with me? And Liverpool got it, and they for sure showed them that they are who they
Yeah.
are. Yeah, that was
Uh,
lucky for them. Yeah.
it worked out for them. The way Wolves play, Wolves frustrate you that you want them the next game. The way they beat you is something they don't reproduce. They can't produce that. So
Liverpool were lucky.
Liverpool were lucky.
But you
They
see
were
how they
lucky.
did Arsenal?
Mhm.
On the last minute, bye. See you next season. I will not be
Mhm.
here anyway.
Yep, you cannot reproduce that. You meet Arsenal again, they cook you. So uh, pick up my point. We are done next season.
Not next season. We won't
Th-
even be here.
Yeah,
Guys, we'll see you
if
in
if
5 years.
if we are lucky to meet in a cup game, well and good, but we are out.
Yeah, not this year for sure.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
yep. So that worked out for Liverpool. Let's see how the Man City one work out. Uh, I feel like Liverpool might have that urge for revenge versus City because City has appeared to be getting the better of them. I mean, 3 goals in the Premier League, and then again 2-1 the other time, which was also going to be 3, although the ref decided to go for a red card. So it's a time when Liverpool needs to probably do something because that rivalry between Liverpool and Man City on the field is now beginning to look like City are having their way. Uh, so I hope, not really because I don't really wish Liverpool better, but for their own sake, if they can turn up and maybe exact some revenge on Man City, that will be good for them. But I don't. Either way, they have to help themselves. I don't really wish them better. I've never done that any day.
Yeah, City home fixture, they'll fancy anybody in the league. So, leave
Mhm.
alone in the second tier or third tier. So, and Liverpool are not the team that can go beat City at Etihad. They're just not the team anymore. Their star man is out. Mohamed Salah, their defenders are all over. They survived a bunch of goals today just because of poor finishing by Galatasaray. So, yeah, I
Mm.
don't see. Maybe they might just try revenge the Anfield loss, and that
Mm.
might be the only motivation just to give them a run for their money. But yeah, City are going for all 4 trophies. They're not gonna be stopped by someone like Liverpool.
True.
No, no, no,
Uh,
no, no. Somebody else, not Liverpool.
mhm.
But the FA is here, man. I feel for you, man. You guys, you are not in the FA. It's too bad.
Man,
Um,
this season I wanted it to be over a long time ago. Then it gave me hopes when we started winning games. I still have hopes of going in the Champions League. That's the only thing I'm chasing right now. But it's gonna get worse. I think we're gonna play like 3 games in a month or something. The intensity is going to drop. Uh, the only time we're gonna be playing is Team A versus Team B in training. No FA, no EFL, and it's like just on goals we've been shooting ourselves. Like EFL, we should have just beaten Grimsby, and even FA versus Brighton, we were home. You know, uh, Brighton is a tough fixture, but Old Trafford United should be going for that.
yeah,
So
tough
I just feel like we shot ourselves in the foot because they should have just let Amorim maybe manage that game because getting Amorim out and bringing in Fletcher, and then Fletcher didn't really look like he was convincing. He had 3 games. He probably won one of them.
Yeah.
Uh, so it just never looked like it was a better choice. But now we're blowing hot and cold. I mean, we might have overreacted to losing to Newcastle, but I don't think that was overreacting because we were just chaotic. Uh, Scholes came out and wondered why we had even won 4 games after playing carelessly, and people have been coming after Scholes saying how he's not supporting Carrick and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe just because he's a former teammate. I mean, he said what I've been saying. How have we? He asked, how have we been winning the last 4? It's something. In fact, he was saying that there must be something special about Carrick because we've been winning, playing poorly, and that's just the truth, man. He had to pull up the post from backlash, but that's just the truth. We've been winning, playing poorly. So the FA embarrassment, we've taken that. Not being in Champions League, we've taken that. The Grimsby disappointment, we've taken that. The boys just have to deliver Champions League.
We're talking about Scholes though. Like, yeah, Carrick was not gonna change things in 1 minute, but if he's winning, then support is best needed. Your negativity is not welcome. And I understand United fans because at the end of the day, this football is not about deserve. No one has deserve for anything, you know. You win a game, you collect the 3 points, you appreciate, you move on. So, and
Yeah,
even
but
Arsenal, people are saying, "Oh, not playing well, not." Yeah, some things are narratives. Because if you've won and you've collected the points, you can see the position on the table. It's reflects.
it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
I just don't see how that was negativity.
To
It
question
was
their credibility,
it no,
like other
it was just more of saying we need more. It was just more of saying that uh that we've been grinding and we need to wake up. It's
But there is
it, it,
no
it
more. This is the same team that needed reinforcement in January. There is no more. Like, it's been a struggling team that needs reinforcements. Everybody knows. But somehow he's still winning. But everybody knows Man United needs reinforcements to compete. But somehow they are competing without reinforcements. Then you come here with your negative. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it in a different lens.
so I think what you're saying is what he said in different words because uh this team needs reinforcement. This team is not playing well, and this team is still winning. That's why he's saying Carrick must be special because how we've been winning playing poorly. That's what he's saying. There must be something special here because how are we winning? We just be playing poorly. We're not really a better side. We played well versus Man City, and then uh, that momentum put us through Arsenal. But beyond that, we've just been grinding, and you can never build a season on grinding. There are games where you have to grind,
But you
and
can
there are
finish
games where
one grinding, though. You can
what
finish one grinding. You can
uh
finish a season grinding it out.
you have to be good. Arsenal finishing top of the season, that defense is just awesome. That
But
midfield
we
is
have to
just good.
grind it. We have to
Arsenal,
grind it against Brighton. People will talk shit, but not our own fans. Okay, but we got the 3 points. That's just a fact that people don't want to understand there. You have to grind it out sometimes. You cannot just tiki-taka your way to. I mean, Scholes is being delusional if he thinks that.
no, I'm on his side. I just feel like that like we have been so hungry that we get carried away. We've just suffered a lot that when we get a win, nobody wanna think about anything else because we just got a win. And United was just gonna win games. That's true. Even if we had not fired a manager, we were just gonna win games. But the whole point here is that when you've suffered a lot and you now have these 3 wins in a row or 4 wins in a row, uh, that's some joy that you've not experienced before, and that joy makes you not really see really see so much. And I've been the reason why I'm not criticizing Scholes is because I've been saying it over and over. I've been saying it over and over that Fulham, no, that was not convincing. We embarrassed at West Ham. Uh, we Everton, they just couldn't kill us. Like we were going to get caught, and players needed a wake up call. On the good side, I'm saying if they treat Newcastle as a wake up call, then that loss would have been a good side, a good thing. But if they don't treat it as a wake up call, then we are just back to who we were. So I'm hoping that our next game we use that as a wake up call, because uh, there has to be a way in which you play where it's not just that we are going to depend on individual brilliance, throw a ball forward and get individual brilliance and just score it. Because if United is in a position where you're building a project, look at teams that have built project. Arsenal, at some point, it was not just about results. Ateta was finishing 8 losses. Fans were throwing all jabs, but Arsenal knew that a project has to go through this. So United fans want a project, and then they want 10 wins on the spin. And irrespective of how they comes, but you cannot build a project on individual brilliance. You cannot build on a project when we're going to park the bus, and then maybe when Cunha throws one ball and Domo brings it, Shesko will finish. Or when we get a set piece, Casemiro will score that set piece. You build a project on building a system where you play. Before Arsenal got where they are, Arsenal did not just, people talk about Arsenal being defensive. Uh, Arsenal are defensive, but they know how to play all other systems. It's just that when you have to be defensive, then we are going to be defensive. When you have to attack, we are going to attack. When you have to play counter, we're going to play counter. Then you have to know all those systems before you now start grinding. United's only system is grinding. And that's not good. If you're building the project, that's not good. I mean, no, I just feel like that's not how we're supposed to go about it. If we are grounding, if you are grinding to finish top 4, I'll give Carrick that one.
Yeah.
They say, okay, we're gonna grind finish top 4 or top 5. Yeah, I'll give him that one. But am I gonna use that as a basis for a new contract?
No.
No. But should he be in the conversation? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be in the conversation. Let's see, we have Carrick. Who else is out there? And then we compare. But he should be in the conversation, but it should not just be the basis, because you've seen managers lose games. Newcastle scored, and you look at Carrick's face, and he's been struck by the biggest disaster in his life. Like, his face was red. He was, these are guys who have been talking about, when you talk about Ateta versus Carrick. Ateta is overcoaching. He's all over on the touchline. He's talking to this and that, while Carrick is just quiet. He's quiet. Oh, you could have seen how Carrick looked when he conceded that goal. He was lost. He didn't know. He didn't understand what was going on with him around the team. He didn't know what to do after that goal, because what he did was, I trust the boys. I have the good players. I'm gonna put them on there. Trust them to take care of business, and I'm just gonna be the calm coach. You're not Ancelotti. You're not there yet. So I love the guy, man. No doubt about it. You might think that I really that I'm not
No.
a
I
Carrick
don't think
supporter.
that. No. I
Yeah,
don't think that. Yeah.
I just don't
Criticize
like the
things that
direction
don't
we
mean
are
you hate.
in.
I've criticized Gyökeres, I've criticized Ateta, but it's like that. This is what football is.
Mm.
It's up, down. But
I just would have wanted to see more, I just wanted to see our build-up play. I've just have seen United fight. Like, lose to Newcastle fighting. They are 10, you are 11. And I understand we are not playing week in, week out, so that intensity drops off. But then, I ask you a question. How did Mainu get intensity on the first game after having not been playing? And now we're talking about players not playing as a reason why they don't have intensity.
yeah, those things, it's not people, all these people that talk about things, people just give opinions. Football at the end of the day is opinions, because when you hear someone say, oh, he's from a lower league, he'll struggle in the Premier League, and then someone like Haaland comes and just outshines, or someone that, I don't know. So people just give opinion most times. There's nothing written in stone when it comes to football. Not even the biggest of players can can decipher whatever is going to happen next or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's so
But
true.
if you guys don't beat Aston Villa, you might go a whole month without a win. It's not looking good.
Yep. Yep. Because I don't know. I don't know when we play next. We lose to. I mean, if if you don't beat both Newcastle and Aston Villa, and at the beginning of the season, those are the teams I thought I was going to wrestle for for position 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And I beat Newcastle at home, but they have hooked me away. Aston Villa beat me away, and am I gonna give Aston Villa 6 points? If
If you do,
that's the
then you're
team
in
that
trouble. Yeah.
if that's the team that I was to fight for, and now I'm ahead of them on goal difference, then I cannot give them 3 points. So I hope that the boys understand that assignment.
Yeah. It's gonna be a proper clash because Liverpool get their 3 points against Tottenham, but we'll delve into this when we talk about the Premier League.
Sounds good. Mm.